Hey everybody, I wanted to go over a couple of more details about how I went about doing some of the things I do to work on these guitars, make them like I like them. This one here is made out of cedar. I cut about 5 3-inch planks and put them side by side to form a block. And I already had my design kind of laid out, so I put it on the bandsaw and cut my design out there. And one of the things I did, because I wanted a lot of access here at the bridge for my leg to be right up against the bridge, I wanted to make sure that the input jack was not anywhere in the way, so that necessitated drilling. The input jack is actually back up here so that it doesn't interfere with your playing at all. You can see where my seam didn't get exactly flush, but and I haven't created a cover for my electronics yet. So that's the back of the guitar. I finished it with shellac. It was an amber shellac that I tinted with a little bit of red magic marker to bring out all I could from that cedar in a red hue. The neck is from a low-end LP, a medium range LP, bolt-on neck. It's a model that happens to be bound on the side, which I like. I cut a little bit of a belly cut right there, and I always like to cut here and here so that the guitar wants to like lean in to the body rather than away from it. And I just made it headless because I think headless guitars are cool. If I can get this thing to sit still. Once I did my shellac, I put probably, I don't know, 5-7 coats of shellac. Steel wool in between each one, sanding like that. And then when I got all the coats on it that I wanted, I took a spoon and boned the wood. I just went all over the entire body, kind of like hardening the surface, since I knew I didn't want any more applications. So I put some mid-range humbuckers in there because I like mid-range tone for all the different styles of playing that you might like to play. I went as simply as I could with the electronics, with the controls, partly because I'm lazy. That selector switch is in a perfect position when you're playing. I always hated, like if you were playing a rhythm part and wanted to go to a lead and wanted to switch pickups, the selector switches on the guitars that I have, they're always in just an inconvenient spot for me, in my opinion. I put that to where I don't even have to look. I just reach down, grab it with my pinky, I throw it one way or the other. I know intuitively where it's at. So that's why I stuck that selector switch there. I think that's about it on that one. I'll bring another one in and show you this. This is the one made out of TV trays. I originally was going to do 3 TV trays thick, but that was just a little bit too much. So this is 2 TV trays sandwiched together. And what I did on the back one, and a little bit to the front one too, I routed it out to where it's a little bit hollow right here in the middle. And you can see right here it's cracked. I went a little bit too thin right there. When I started messing with putting the pickups in, it cracked. So you learn as you go. So this one, the TV trays are, I'm pretty sure, maple. It was hardwood. And again, this is shellac, amber shellac with just a little bit of, I would mix yellow magic marker with pure grain alcohol, create a little tint, add it to the shellac. Use a pretty thin shellac mix, and again put probably something like 7 coats, and again boned this with a big kitchen spoon to, just went in circles, hardening the surface of the wood. Headless again, because I think headless is cool. I scalloped this. One of the key features of these, besides being cut away at the bridge so that you have really, really good access and super comfortability while seated playing, I also really cut aggressively here so that this is like a wrist support at a computer. It's a fantastic platform for stability. You just lay your forearm right there and your hand is right here where I pick in general around the neck pickup rather than toward the bridge. Sometimes I'm even up on the neck a little bit picking. I like the tone you can get. I don't use a pick typically. I pick with my index fingernail or a finger pick, use my thumb. So oftentimes you end up somewhere playing and you don't have a pick, and I just got more and more used to that. So I tend to not use a pick. If I do, I use either a 1.5 millimeter or a 2 millimeter. And I like to drill a hole in them to pick. So that's that one. And the back, I didn't do any kind of belly cut on that one. I didn't see the need. And again, I put the input back on the back, out of the way. It's a perfect spot. And also putting the strap buttons on the back of the guitar works out perfectly for these shapes. And in part because they're headless, they're extremely well balanced. And something interesting between these two, the first one I showed was an LP scale neck length. This is a Strat scale neck. And I never could make up my mind which I liked better. When I got them on these shapes that weren't related to the shapes that we're traditionally accustomed to, I found that I really liked the shorter scale length. I know it's just, 3/4 of an inch difference, if that. I don't remember, but very noticeable. And it becomes really apparent when you're using a different body design. So I thought that I'd throw that in there. It's this one, I ended up tuning it to, I believe it's open E. I use it for slide. I love slide on a Strat scale neck. So let me show you one more. This one I intended to use a resonator pan in it. little rattle there. This is made out of 1x pine. You might be able to see 1, 2, 3 pieces. And the way that I did them, I took 2 pieces and joined them so that I had 3 squares. I cut this shape out of all 3 of those square pieces. And what I did, the back, I should have waited before I turned that around. The back I just left in that shape. Kind of contoured it here and here, again, so it rolls toward the body. This is a short scale. It's got a kid's guitar neck on it. The center piece, I cut it completely like hollow here. Probably came up pretty close to this area before I cut my circle out of the top piece. So the middle piece is hollow largely. It makes a great big chamber. And then the top piece, I cut these sound ports and a hole for the resonator. The tail piece is a sail off of a little paperweight sailboat. That's half of a drumstick. That's a brace out of the inside of an upright piano. And whenever I can, with an older looking project, something like that, I try to use flathead screws, old flathead screws that I found in my dad or my granddad's shop. And the finish is every stain I had in my shop. Just a mix of gun stock and red oak, and I don't remember what all. I used everything I had to try to get an old Singer sewing machine look. The resonator pan didn't sound good, so I had this old piece of single plywood laying around. Stuck it in there because the tinny nature of that resonator pan, just I couldn't stand it. So put that in there, and it sounds a little bit better. So that's it. I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of things that I did to create these. And I put little marks here and there to make this look a little bit older. I wanted it to look like it was a undiscovered design from the 1920s or something. I don't know. I was going for those old turn of the century bedroom suites, that kind of red oak or walnut look. So thanks for watching. Check out my other videos, and y'all have a good day.